Hi, Joe Scarpito here, and I'm really looking forward to our time together at the Back Pain and Sciatica Workshop. It's going to be great, especially if you're looking for natural treatment and healing options without medications, injections, and surgery. So, if you're looking to get back to normal again and you don't want to use drugs, this is for you. Now, I want to go over something really important today so that you understand. In our last video, I talked about, is your pain reproducible? A lot of people that we see have trouble with standing, walking, sitting, driving, getting in and out of the car, doing yard work or doing housework, and things along those lines. Today I want to show you the number one single biggest mistake that people make that really gets them into trouble. A lot of times during the workshop, we'll treat somebody live from the audience just to demonstrate how effective this can be. Just at the last workshop I did, we had somebody who was really skeptical. He had pain for a really long time. He had been to other physical therapists, had chiropractic treatment, also had had epidural injections. He's been through just about everything. He was a really tough case. He had pain and numbness and tingling that went down both legs to his toes. He had pain with standing, pain with walking, and was really struggling a lot. So we did the demonstration. He stood up and said, wow, I really do feel a lot better. We had him go through some motions that he was really having trouble with before the treatment, and he did really well. Everybody clapped, and we had a good time. But what he was doing was basically this. With any problem that we have in life, there are three basic ways we can handle it. Number one, which is the most common thing that we do, is that we ignore it. Ignoring a problem doesn't necessarily mean that we're silent about it. Usually what happens is we're making excuses. So we say things like, well, I'm just getting old, or I have always had a bad back, or I had an injury when I was younger, or it's the weather, or we blame it on our genetics, or that we really have a tough job, or that we have to sit all day. There are a million different things that we can blame it on, but none of that is really getting to the source of the problem. Here's what happens. If we take a look at our life and you map out all the activities you do, you have some that are really intense. They would be on the outside here. Then we have some that are easier on the inside. Now, what happens, and what happened to this gentleman, was how he limited himself. He's basically said, every time I stand or walk more than 15 minutes, I get pain. So I said, well, what do you do? He said, well, I don't stand or walk for more than 15 minutes. So if standing and walking are out here in terms of the intensity, we basically take that out. So we might have other activities out here like running or lifting or running a vacuum cleaner or something like that. Less intense than that is sitting, driving, getting dressed, things like that. Well, eventually, if we continue to ignore the cause of your back pain and sciatica, what happens? It was exactly what was starting to happen with him. We lose the ability to do the harder things, so the easier ones are all we can do. Of course, we can compensate or we can figure out other ways to do things, but all of that is just one form of ignoring what is going on. Then, eventually what happens is we get to the point where we can only sit or sleep, and unfortunately, many times, that is when we are seeing somebody here in physical therapy. They're waiting this long, and now they've been told they need surgery, and if they don't get surgery, they're not going to be able to walk. And by the way, that's all junk. And we're going to dispel a whole bunch of other myths for you. But basically, people wait until they lose all these other areas of their life, and the reason that they are doing that is because they are ignoring the cause of their pain. So, at the Back Pain and Sciatica Workshop, I'm going to show you exactly how we can help you through that and how we can help you handle the cause of your pain so that you can get back to normal again.